Hi, everyone. It is Sunday night. You know what that means. It is Sunday Snapshot time. We're going to take you through the week ahead. If you have not joined us for a Sunday Snapshot yet, we've been doing these weekly Sunday nights. A lot of you are probably planning your week ahead. You're planning what to eat, what the kids are going to eat, when you need to do your grocery shopping, what you have coming up at work. Why not plan out the weather as well? That way you know what to expect, right? That's the whole idea behind this. So I actually had someone ask me last week if we can play the theme song twice. Due to time constraints, we're not going to do that. We're just going to play it once. But we'll let some people join here, and we'll have some nice elevator music for you with our Sunday Snapshot this week. Oh, that music gets me every time. So I want to say hi to you guys. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Cynthia. Thanks for joining us here this Sunday night. I hope you had a nice weekend. The weather, boy, very fall-like, right? But today was windy. It was warm. Tomorrow we've got another day like that. So as we look forward to what we're going to see this week weather-wise, it's going to be a pretty warm week. All things considered, we should stay above average. It's also going to be a pretty quiet week, but there's a couple nuances in there that I want to take you through, like a wind shift. I want to kind of give you the big global picture right now. We're going to go kind of different on this to get you some information. Hi, JD. Thanks for joining us. Stephanie, Jeff, hello to you guys. I hope you had a nice weekend as well. So let's jump into it, shall we, in terms of some of the models here. So I want to start with a big picture. This is, globally what it looks like, at least for a chunk of the globe right now. And you can see the movement of storm systems. Yeah. I want you to turn your attention up here where my mouse is. This is heading up into Europe. There's a big area of low pressure there. There's another low pressure that's heading north that brought some of that cooler air that was brief. That's heading up into Canada. As both those head north, this is kind of a top-down look at the atmosphere in terms of the undulations of it and all the movement. As that heads north, what we're going to see develop this week is what we call an omega block. It happens a lot in the atmosphere. Basically, everything's spinning around the globe weather-wise, weather systems, cold front, warm fronts, all that. And sometimes you get in this pattern where it's just kind of like a traffic jam where everything kind of locks up. And the reason why is usually because you have these areas of cutoff low pressure that develop. So what we're looking at here, this is the upper level flow of the atmosphere, right? Right here over New England, you can see how, you have that little dip there. That's that area of low pressure we saw. Bigger dip in Europe. That's the other low pressure we saw. And watch what happens as we play this out throughout the week ahead. You can see how that European low and the low across the U.S. kind of interact, but they get stuck in place, right? This one's big, so this one can't go anywhere. So it just kind of sinks south down towards New England. And what we're stuck with in between is you can draw the Greek letter omega, and you can see how it comes down. We get this big ridge stuck in the central half of the country, comes back down in the east. That is what we call an omega block. So what does that mean here at the surface? Well, we have a pattern that's stuck. And so where are we going to fall on that pattern? I think that's the big question. And it's going to be somewhere in between the cool to our east, the cool towards our west. Will be kind of warm this week. And especially tomorrow, I think we make a run well into the 80s tomorrow with some windy conditions. So you'll notice as we go through time this week, without getting too much into the details yet, you'll notice what our temperatures look like across the country. These are your daytime highs. You notice that omega look to it, right? So you got this big dome of heat in the plains. It's cool out towards the west. So they're going to get some mountain snow. And then out towards New England, it's pretty cool as well. So that should trigger some of the fall colors. So let's get down into some of the details of this. The first thing you'll notice, tomorrow is going to be another windy day. We'll likely have winds gusting well over 30 miles per hour at times. But it's going to be a warm wind at first. So this map you're looking at right now, I'm going to go full screen on this if that's okay. This is your wind. Notice tomorrow during the day, you get a little daytime heating. The atmosphere starts to mix up. There's your gusts. So 35 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. So very windy tomorrow. And then watch what happens tomorrow night. We've got a frontal boundary coming in from the north. So wind starts to subside a little bit. But look up on the Lake Michigan. See those arrows coming out of the north? That's a front. And if you've been around Lake Michigan long enough, those fronts this time of year will drop fast across the lake because there's not a lot of friction to it. So what we're going to see by tomorrow night, this is late in the evening, I think after evening rush hour, we'll see that wind shift. It's not going to be particularly gusty, but notice the strong wind howling across the lake. So our lakeshore communities are going to see a markedly different air mass late tomorrow. So this is tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, as that front drops south. We'll likely peak in the mid 80s, and then we'll drop into the 70s and 60s tomorrow evening. And you can see how that air settles in off the lake. That will keep us cooler over the next couple days, being Tuesday and Wednesday, as that front drops in. So not quite as warm as what we're dealing with on Monday, tomorrow. In terms of when that front goes by, we may see some fog develop. And I was looking at the models to see if any of them are picking up on it. There's not a lot of models that are right now, but you can see tomorrow when that front goes by and the wind shifts, we tend to get fog off the lake, right? And so the Euro is kind of picking up on that tomorrow night. We may have a foggy morning commute Tuesday, depending on where this front settles. But you can see some of these visibilities. I don't know why they're so high on there, but just notice the gray shaded area. That is indicative of some of the fog that could be rolling through here. Again, that would be tomorrow night and Tuesday morning, and then we're not going to deal with it. So in terms of temperatures this week, as we look ahead, this is what we're dealing with in terms of some of the projected highs. This is tomorrow, and I think these numbers are a little bit low. They were a little underrated today, so I'll go mid 80s tomorrow. It's going to be a warm, very breezy day. And then you notice, remember that front goes by, you notice how the 80s settle down to the south. We're in the 70s, pretty comfortable day on Tuesday as that front settles south. And remember, we'll have that wind out of the northeast as well. And then we start to toe this line. Notice how, remember that omega block we talked about? New England's on the chillier side. That'll start their fall colors going pretty well. They're already going up in upstate New York. But you can see where we are, kind of in between, right around 80 degrees on Wednesday. There's some heat off towards the west. So if you have any business travel plans out in Iowa, St. Louis, it'll be much warmer. Meanwhile, you go east, it'll be a little bit cooler on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we start to get a little push of that heat, likely near 80 degrees. And then we start to interact with this cold front. So Euro takes a dive on the temps, brings us down to the 60s and 70s. This is where I lose confidence in the forecast because it just doesn't look right now. Models still kind of trying to sort themselves out in terms of where those go. And you can see as we go through time, we're still in the 70s and 80s for a good portion of the forecast. So let's talk rainfall this week. Boy, do we need the rain. I know a lot of us have been, just parched over the last couple of weeks. It's really been about a month and a half since we've had some really good rainfall. We're not going to get it this week. I hate to say that, but look how dry we stay. This is Monday. The front goes by dry. It's coming in from the north, so there's no connection with the Gulf of Mexico. And then you can see Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, high pressure setting up shop. Thursday, you think we'd get some rain with the system coming in from the west, but we have that strong high pressure, so that's going to keep it west as it looks right now. So our next chance of rain, I think, is going to be sometime Saturday or Sunday. And that would be if this ridge breaks down, and there's low confidence that it does right now. So that is not etched in stone that we're going to have rain next weekend. But you can see the Euro kind of brings a frontal boundary in here from the north. That would be our next shot at rain. Euro saying Sunday night, Monday. These things tend to speed up. So I would say Saturday, Sunday would be our next shot at rain. But again, pretty low confident in that right now. So what we do know this week, again, warm and breezy tomorrow. We may have some fog and a wind shift tomorrow late in the day. This is evening and overnight. The wind will shift out of the north. It'll bring cooler air on Tuesday. Could wake up with some fog, and then we'll kind of recover those temperatures as we go throughout the week. All right, let's get to if you guys have any questions or anything like that. I'm seeing some messages that my screen froze. So hopefully it is unfrozen. If someone could let me know if I am frozen right now and if it was a good freeze, because sometimes when you're frozen, you have a really bad face. So I'm like, So if I am frozen right now, that's just great. I can't change the internet speed here at work. It should be pretty fast, but why don't I close some of my windows out? That might help. But anyway, if you guys have any questions weather-wise in the week ahead, it's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, no, Max says I'm still frozen. Oh, it's frozen on the map. Oh, let me close some of these windows. Maybe I have too many of these open. That's good to know. So at least my face isn't frozen on there. That's the good news, because that gets really sloppy sometimes. Did that help anybody? You are not frozen, but not sure about your computer screen. Okay, thanks, Kimberly. I should be on the screen right now, off to the side. Not that anyone needs to see my mug, but I'm here, I promise. So go ahead. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them. I'd be happy to answer that in terms of weather-wise this week or anything that you're seeing. And if not, we'll get you on your way. We'll go from there, all right? I am moving. The map has not. Okay, that's good, Brooke. I think we're back. Jeff says no rain Saturday because he's moving. Jeff, moving is not fun. I get it, buddy. As of right now, we're dry. The GFS is leaning towards the system coming in. Saturday's rain is all dependent on when this omega block breaks down, and the models sometimes don't really handle it very well. So we'll see. Max asking, is it going to be a warm October? That's a great question, Max. December, remember I said is going to be cold. October right now, I think it's a little too early to tell. I know we're going to be jumping into October, and it looks like it's going to start warm, but there's no real way to tell end of the month. We can look at a couple things. One thing I'll show you here is, let me see if I can get into it. Here we go. I think they still have it. So it's a GEFS product. They have another one that goes longer on here. Yeah, this isn't going to go as long as you want. This will take us through early October. Yeah, we're not talking temps a whole lot. Max, as of right now, it looks like we're going to start warm, but middle half of October, no way to tell right now. We can look at models all day, but it doesn't always show us exactly what's going to happen. And, the accuracy on that's not too great. So that's that. Did everyone have a good weekend? I hope you did. I hope I'm not frozen still. But yeah, it was certainly a good weekend. You're welcome, Max. It seems like everything's working. Certainly was a fall-like weekend. I know a lot of people getting out and about and doing, all those fall activities, pumpkin patches, stuff like that. In terms of fall color, I think that's a good question to answer. Again, with how dry it's been recently, I think it's going to be hard-pressed to get a really robust, nice fall color this year. We'll probably see a lot of browns and kind of the golden colors. And in terms of getting that fall color here, it's a little bit later this year. I was looking back 4 or 5 years ago, we had decent fall color by now. I think it's 2017, whereas now there's not a whole lot going on. I know it's in Wisconsin. We have a little bit of fall color out there, but not nearly what we've had a couple years ago. So I think we're going to have a late fall foliage peak this year. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. Kimberly says, Wanata Scarecrow Festivals this weekend was wonderful. I have never been to that, Kimberly. It sounds scary, but I'm sure there's no birds around because there's lots of scarecrows. Is it, do they have like lots of stuff you can buy? Is that kind of what it is? Or is it just a big pumpkin patch, hayride, stuff like that? Diane enjoyed her weekend. Stephanie enjoyed her weekend as well. And Diane says, sunsets have been gorgeous. Absolutely, Diane. They have been, and they tend to be when we have high clouds coming in. And we've had a lot of systems in the plains blowing high clouds. And tonight we had high clouds to the north. We'll likely have more tomorrow, but then we watch out for that fog after that. But should be good for sure. All right, I don't see anything else coming in. It's a pretty easy week. We don't have a lot of details to jump into. Just to recap for those that just joined, and if maybe I was frozen earlier, didn't hear any of this, sorry. We're going to have a windy day tomorrow. It's going to be on the warm side of things, probably mid-80s tomorrow afternoon. Front comes by tomorrow night, right? 7, 8, 9 o'clock. You'll notice the wind's going to shift off the lake. That may cause some fog tomorrow evening, and especially tomorrow night and Tuesday morning, we may see some fog develop. That'll set us up for a cooler Tuesday. Nothing we can't handle, still comfortable, and then we'll warm generally back towards 80 degrees this week. Next weekend, still in the question mark. So if you're looking at your phone app, you're wondering, hey, I've got plans next weekend, like Jeff is moving. I wouldn't trust the app yet. I wouldn't trust any computer models yet on next Saturday and Sunday because there's a big question mark on when this ridge breaks down. All right. Through Thursday and Friday, accurate. Saturday, Sunday, stay tuned. Okay, we'll keep you updated on that. Kimberly says craft vendors, mostly entertainment, tractor, car show, kid games. Cool. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I know the kids are itching to get out, and you need to get them out too before winter hits. Let's just say that. All right, everybody. I think that's it. Thanks for joining us for our Sunday snapshot this week. Hope you have a good Monday tomorrow. Again, breezy, windy, warm. It'll be nice. And then not too bad the rest of the week. Pretty quiet. All right. Enjoy your day, everybody, or your night and your day tomorrow.